Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the SmackDown review. SmackDown tonight, it was a tape show. It was taped last week, same arena in Green Bay, Wisconsin, the Resch Center. And SmackDown tonight, I thought it was an okay show. We had some good wrestling on the show tonight. We had a Holiday Havoc match where it was Mia Yim, Shotzi, Bianca, Belair, and Zelina Vega versus Damage Control, Bayley, Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. We also had Dragon Lee versus Butch, where the NXT North American Championship was on the line. Dragon Lee defended the title. Of course, he ended up beating Dominic Mysterio at NXT Deadline to win the North American Championship. We had the two matches in the United States Championship Tournament. This was the semifinals. It was Kevin Owens versus Carmelo Hayes and Santos Escobar versus Bobby Lashley. And the winners will face off one-on-one. And the winner will get to face Logan Paul for the United States Championship at the Royal Rumble. And the main event, we had AJ Styles versus Solo Sikoa. Overall, SmackDown tonight, okay show, in my opinion. For it being a tape show. But anyways, let's jump right into the review. SmackDown opened up tonight with AJ Styles. AJ Styles ended up coming down to the ring. And of course, if you remember last week, AJ Styles ended up returning at the end of SmackDown, and he had taken out LA Knight and turning heel. And there was talks throughout the week saying, oh, is AJ Styles a heel, or is he, babyface, or is he a tweener here? I think, in my opinion, AJ Styles is full-on heel after what we saw last week. So Styles got on the mic. He ended up saying that Randy Orton wants Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. And he ended up saying that LA Knight wants Roman Reigns anytime, any place, anywhere. Styles ended up saying that he doesn't blame either Orton or Knight. He ended up saying that he doesn't give a damn about the both of them. Styles ended up saying that he is number one when it comes to getting his hands on Roman Reigns. He ended up saying that he wants to take on Roman at the Royal Rumble. So then LA Knight ended up coming out. Of course, fans popped for LA Knight. LA Knight gets on the mic. He does his shtick. He ends up saying, "Let me talk to you." Knight ended up saying that he didn't come out to argue about who gets Roman first, because there is nothing to argue about. He ended up saying after what happened to him at Crown Jewel, Styles can get Roman after he gets him first. He ended up saying that Roman is going to get him first, what everybody's saying. LA Knight. Yeah! So he ended up saying, but after what happened last week, Styles will get him first. So Styles ended up telling Knight that he forgot that he stepped over his body to get a match against Roman at Crown Jewel. Styles then told Knight that anyone who gets in his way, he will drop him too. So then that brought out Randy Orton. Randy Orton came out. He ended up getting on the mic. Orton ended up saying that he could appreciate both of them and their issues with Roman and the Bloodline. He ended up saying, but Roman and the Bloodline put him on the shelf for 18 months. He ended up saying that he enjoyed being at home, but he was missing his second home, which is the ring. So Orton ended up telling both Styles and Knight that nothing is going to get in his way. So LA Knight ended up telling them that the Bloodline took Styles and Orton out, but no one took him out, and that he is bulletproof. He ended up saying they can join him for the ride, but he will be the one to get Roman. So out came SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis ended up saying that this is a situation, and the way he sees it, each of them has a legitimate claim to face Roman. You have seen that he has decided that he will give Styles, Orton, and Knight a legitimate opportunity to face Roman next. So Nick Aldis ended up announcing that in 2 weeks at SmackDown New Year's Revolution, yes, they bought the New Year's Revolution name back, WWE, and it's going to be for SmackDown. So Aldis ended up saying that in 2 weeks at SmackDown New Year's Revolution, and it will be Styles versus LA Knight versus Randy Orton in a triple threat match. And the winner of the match will get to face Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. So LA Knight ended up saying, AJ Styles ended up saying that he will see them at New Year's Revolution. If anyone gets close to this ring during the match against Santos Escobar, he will take them out too. So if Orton or Knight end up, out there during his match with Santos Escobar, Styles would take them out. So pretty much that was basically how the segment ended. But overall, I thought this was a good open to SmackDown. AJ Styles coming out there, delivering a very solid promo. And I like how that WWE is building up to, New Year's Revolution and setting up this triple threat match between Styles, Knight, and Randy Orton. All three of them want Roman Reigns. But overall, good opening to SmackDown here. And then we had the first match of the night, which was the Holiday Havoc match, Bianca Belair, Shotzi, Zelina, Vega, and Mia Yim versus Damage Control, Bayley, Io Sky, and Asuka, Kairi Sane. And this was a very meh match, in my opinion. So the match got underway. We had Bianca Belair and Io Sky. They remained in the ring. Bianca Belair ended up delivering a drop kick to Io, which was followed up by a vertical suplex. Bianca ended up going for the cover. Bayley broke up the pin. Bayley ended up kicking Bianca to the outside. And Shotzi ended up getting in the ring. And she ended up kicking Bayley. So Shotzi ended up opening up a wrapped gift. And inside that gift was a steel chair. So Bayley ended up delivering a right hand to Shotzi. She ended up placing the chair in the corner. Bayley ended up going for a suplex, but Shotzi blocked the suplex. Shotzi rolled Bayley up, and then Bayley ended up kicking out. Shotzi then delivered an arm drag to Bayley, which was followed up by a kick to the side of Bayley's head. Shotzi then ended up grabbing the steel chair, and she placed it in the middle of the ring. Bayley was shown hanging on the second rope. Shotzi ended up running and jumping off the chair and landed on Bayley. Shotzi then ended up throwing the chair to the outside, and Bayley rolled out to the ring. So Shotzi delivered a suicide dive onto both Io and Bayley. Mia Yim and Zelina Vega got into the ring. Kairi Sane and Asuka ended up hitting them from behind with kendo sticks, which were candy cane kendo sticks. So in came Bianca and Shotzi, and then up hitting Asuka and Kairi with candy cane kendo sticks. Bianca and Shotzi end up going to the outside, and they end up grabbing a table. And Bayley and Io end up hitting them from behind. They end up grabbing the table, and they end up hitting both Bianca and Shotzi with the table. And then SmackDown with the commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Io ended up delivering a drop kick onto Mia Yim. She ended up going for the cover, and Bianca broke up the pin. Bianca ended up throwing Bayley to the outside. Io ended up rolling Bianca up, but Bianca ended up kicking out. Io then delivered a right hand to Bianca. Io then ended up running to the ropes, but Bianca delivered a kick to Io. Bianca then grabbed one of the wrapped boxes, and she ended up hitting Io with the box. So Bianca ended up lifting Io onto her shoulders. Shotzi climbed to the top rope. Shotzi delivered a drop kick onto Io. She ended up going for the cover, and Asuka broke up the pin. So Asuka ended up throwing shots to the outside. Kairi Sane then grabbed the trash can lid, and she hit Shotzi with the trash can lid. So Kairi then threw Shotzi into the Christmas tree. Zelina ended up hitting Kairi from behind with the steel chair. Dakota Kai then ended up hitting Zelina Vega with a pumpkin pie. And Asuka then delivered the blue mist onto Zelina Vega. She spit the blue mist at her. So Bayley ended up throwing Bianca to the outside. Asuka started stomping on Bianca. Kairi and Asuka end up throwing Bianca back into the ring. Asuka and Kairi end up opening up two boxes on the outside. And we had Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. They end up getting out of the two boxes. So Alba Fire and Isla Dawn end up attacking both Asuka and Kairi. So Bianca then ended up hitting Bayley with the KOD. Io Sky ended up landing a moonsault onto Bianca. Mia Yim then delivered a kick onto Io. And Mia Yim ended up placing Io on a table in the ring. Mia Yim delivered a senton off the top rope onto Io. She ended up going for the cover. And there you go. Bianca Belair, Shotzi, Zelina Vega, and Mia Yim ended up winning the match. Overall, very meh match this was. And then we had Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso was shown backstage with Solo Sikoa. Jimmy ended up telling Sikoa that he knows the pressure, and when you are out there, you have to call an audible. So Roman was sitting down, and Roman ended up asking Paul Heyman who the SmackDown general manager is. And Paul Heyman was like, well, my tribal chief, the SmackDown general manager is Nick Aldis. So Roman ended up telling Paul Heyman to bring him Nick Aldis. Paul Heyman ended up asking Roman if he can have a moment of his time to brief him about Nick Aldis. So Roman ended up telling Paul Heyman again to bring him Nick Aldis. Pretty much that was basically that. Then we got Dragon Lee versus Butch. NXT North American Championship on the line. Dragon Lee defending the title. This was a good match here. Match got underway. Butch ended up going for an armbar to Dragon Lee, but Dragon Lee ended up getting out of it. Butch delivered a forearm to Dragon Lee's face. Butch then started twisting Dragon Lee's fingers, and he had pinned Dragon Lee with some chops to his chest. Butch then threw Dragon Lee to the ropes, but Dragon Lee came back and delivered a hurricanrana to Butch. Dragon Lee then delivered a kick to Butch's face, and Butch rolled to the outside of the ring. Dragon Lee was going for a suicide dive, but Butch ended up delivering a kick to Dragon Lee's face. Butch lifted Dragon Lee and slammed him onto the ring apron. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Butch was shown on the ring apron, and Dragon Lee was in the ring. Dragon Lee ended up jumping and landing a hurricanrana off the ring apron and onto the outside. He then ended up throwing Butch back into the ring. Dragon Lee then hit Butch with a drop kick. He then lifted Butch up, but Butch landed on his feet. Butch then delivered a powerbomb to Dragon Lee. He ended up going for the cover. Dragon Lee ended up kicking out. Butch then delivered a snap German suplex to Dragon Lee. He stomped onto Dragon Lee's hands and kicked him in the head. So Butch was going for a suplex. Dragon Lee then landed on his feet. Dragon Lee then delivered a sit-down powerbomb to Butch. He went for the cover, and Butch ended up kicking out. So at the end of the match, we had Butch end up going for the bitter end. Dragon Lee then reversed that. He had pinned Butch with a destroyer. Dragon Lee then delivered the Operation Dragon. He ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Dragon Lee ended up winning the match, retaining the NXT North American Championship. Overall, good match this was. Good wrestling from both Dragon Lee and Butch here. And Dragon Lee continues to impress. being the North American champion. Butch did pretty good here. Good match it was. Obviously predictable that Dragon Lee was going to retain the title. And then we saw Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis ended up stepping into Roman's locker room. Roman ended up telling Paul Heyman to leave. Nick Aldis had a seat. Roman then ended up asking Aldis how he knew he wasn't talking to him. Aldis ended up telling Roman, with all due respect, he wouldn't care if he was. So Roman asked Aldis if he booked the triple threat match and Sikoa versus Styles. Nick Aldis ended up saying that he did book the triple threat and he did book Sikoa versus Styles. So Roman ended up telling Aldis that those are good ideas. He also ended up telling him that it would have been an even better idea if he ran it through him first. Roman ended up telling Aldis that he is the tribal chief, the head of the table, and everything goes through him. He ended up telling Aldis that he needs to understand that, and Adam Pearce understood that. So Aldis ended up telling Roman that he is an executive, and he doesn't have feelings. He ended up saying, as for Adam Pearce, he is more of a middle management type. He is an executive. So Aldis ended up saying that he is the sharp end of the stick on SmackDown. He ended up saying, speaking of Solo Sikoa, he is a big boy, and that he took care of John Cena in a way that even Roman didn't take care of Cena. So Aldis ended up saying that he is looking forward to seeing Sikoa versus Styles, just like he is looking forward to the triple threat match, and is looking forward to the winner of that match against Roman at the Royal Rumble for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. So Aldis ended up saying to Roman that he hopes they get to know each other better. So Aldis walked away, and Roman was pissed. He was fuming. So pretty much that was basically that. I think Roman's not going to like that Nick Aldis is making matches and Aldis is not running through it to Roman. So that was that. And then we had the first match in the semifinals of the United States Championship Tournament. Kevin Owens versus Carmelo Hayes. This was a good match here. Obviously, I knew Carmelo Hayes was going to lose the match here, and that they were going to give it to Kevin Owens, of course. So, match got underway. Kevin Owens delivered a headlock on Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo ended up reversing it. Owens ended up throwing Hayes into the ropes, and Hayes came back, delivered a head scissor takedown to Owens. Hayes then delivered a drop kick to Owens. Owens got to his feet. He had pinned Hayes with a chop to his chest. Hayes then came back, delivered a right hand to Owens. He had run to the ropes, and Owens delivered an elbow to Hayes' face, which was followed by a senton. Owens then ended up throwing Hayes to the outside, but Hayes ended up landing on his feet. Hayes then dragged Owens to the outside, and Owens pushed Hayes into the ring steps. So then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Hayes then delivered a body slam to Owens. So Hayes then delivered a right hand, and he ended up throwing Owens into the ropes. Hayes then delivered a kick to the side of Owens' head. Hayes ended up going for the cover, and Owens ended up kicking out. Hayes then delivered a boot to Owens' face, and he slammed Owens down to the canvas. He ended up going for the cover, and Owens ended up kicking out. So Hayes ended up going for a suplex to Owens, but Owens lifted Hayes up, and he laid Hayes out with a DDT. He ended up going for the cover. Hayes ended up kicking out. So at the end of the match, we had Owens ended up climbing the top rope. He ended up hitting Hayes with a senton bomb. And then Owens hit the stunner on Hayes. He ended up going for the cover. And there you go. Kevin Owens ended up winning the match. Post-match, Hayes was down. And Kevin Owens ended up helping him up. And pretty much that was that. But overall, good match it was, but obviously predictable. I knew that Carmelo Hayes wasn't going to win the match here. WWE was going to give it to Kevin Owens, which they did. Obviously, I knew that Kevin Owens was going to win it. So then we went backstage. AJ Styles was shown he was getting ready for his match against Santos Escobar. In came Mia Yim and the OC, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. Carl Anderson ended up telling Styles that they did not hear from him. Gallows ended up asking Styles if they are good. Styles ended up telling them that he doesn't know. He ended up asking them if they are. And that was that. I think AJ Styles is going to break away from Gallows Anderson and Mia Yim. That was that. And then we had a video which aired of Karrion Kross and Scarlett. And Karrion Kross was talking about their vision. And pretty much it showed the authors of Pain and Paul Ellering in this video package here. So it looks like we're going to be getting a new stable with Karrion Kross and the authors of Pain. So authors of Pain returning to WWE. They signed their contracts months ago, but WWE did not use them. So it looks like we're going to be getting, like I said, a new stable here. Karrion Kross, Authors of Pain, Paul Ellering, and Scarlett. Can't wait to see Authors of Pain make their return when they finally are on TV. And it's good that they got Paul Ellering with them again. The first time that they had that they came up to the main roster, they were with Paul Ellering, and then Paul Ellering, from what I heard, he didn't want to travel, so Authors of Pain were by themselves. They were not managed, and then they got Drake Maverick, accompanying them. So, and then they got released. But Authors of Pain were better with Paul Ellering there, when they were in NXT, and really glad that, they got, Paul Ellering to be with the Authors of Pain again. Can't wait to see what they do with this possible stable that's coming soon with Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain. And then we had the last match in the semifinals of the United States Championship Tournament. Bobby Lashley versus Santos Escobar. The Street Profits, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins were at ringside. And this was a decent match here. Match got underway. Lashley delivered a clothesline to Santos Escobar. Lashley then threw Escobar into the corner, and he had pinned Escobar with a spear in the corner. Lashley then delivered right hands to Escobar, and he threw Escobar around the ring. Escobar was on the ring apron, and Escobar ended up pinning Lashley with a kick to the side of his head. Escobar climbed the top rope, and he jumped off the top. Lashley caught Escobar and threw him over the top rope to the outside. So then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Escobar was in control of the match. He delivered a suicide dive onto Lashley. Escobar ended up getting back in the ring. Lashley slowly got into the ring. Escobar delivered some kicks onto Lashley's left leg. He ended up going for the cover, and Lashley ended up kicking out. So then later on, security was shown. They ended up grabbing someone that jumped the barricade, and they were wearing a mask. And then another person was wearing a mask, and this person jumped the barricade. And both of these persons that were wearing masks, they ended up attacking the Street Profits. They ended up attacking Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. So Lashley looked at the Profits on the outside, and that distraction led to Escobar rolling Lashley up. And there you go. Santos Escobar ended up winning the match. So then these two masked men, they end up celebrating with Santos Escobar. So these two masked men end up taking off their masks. And these two men were revealed to be Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. So that was pretty much basically that. Santos Escobar looks like he has a stable here, a new stable, with him, Humberto Carrillo, and Angel Garza. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out here. But overall, decent match between Escobar and Bobby Lashley here. So it's going to be Santos Escobar versus Kevin Owens, and the winner will get to face Logan Paul for the United States Championship at the Royal Rumble. And then we saw Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly was backstage with Butch. Butch ended up saying that he bought the fight, and he congratulated Dragon Lee. And then came Pretty Deadly, Pretty Awful. They were singing Christmas carols. They were making fun of Butch. Butch then attacked both Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. So in came Nick Aldis with officials. Aldis ended up saying that if Butch can find a partner and fight Pretty Deadly at SmackDown New Year's Revolution. Great. This is what we're reduced to. Butch finding a partner and taking on Pretty Awful. Kit Wilson and Elton Prince. Can you believe that? And then we saw Logan Paul. This was a video package of Logan Paul. He was talking about his opponent for the United States Championship. He ended up saying that his opponent is a guy who cried over Rey Mysterio, and the other who won't take his short off when he is in the pool. So Logan Paul ended up telling Escobar he is not in his league, and Kevin Owens looks like if Reddit was a person. So Logan Paul ended up telling both Owens and Escobar to enjoy their temporary clout, because that's the only thing they will get from him. So that was that. But my pick to win, whether it's either Kevin Owens or Santos Escobar, obviously it's going to be Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is the one that's going to defeat Santos Escobar. Kevin Owens will probably will be the one to face Logan Paul at the Royal Rumble for the United States Championship. You can't do Santos Escobar because it will be heel versus heel. So obvious it's going to be Kevin Owens. Main event, AJ Styles versus Solo Sikoa. This was a decent match here. Match got underway. Styles delivered a chop to Sikoa's chest, and he delivered some right hands. Styles ended up going to the ropes, but Solo Sikoa delivered a clothesline to Styles. Sikoa then delivered a body slam to Styles. He ended up throwing Styles into the ropes, but Styles came back and delivered a drop kick to Sikoa. So Styles delivered a knee to Sikoa's face, and then Styles delivered a kick to the side of Sikoa's head. Sikoa then ended up falling to the outside. Styles was on the ring apron, and he ended up hitting Sikoa with a knee to his face. Styles ended up getting back to the ring. He jumped over the top rope and hit Sikoa with a right hand. And then SmackDown with the commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Sikoa was in control of the match. He ended up headbutting onto Styles, and Styles ended up falling to the outside. Sikoa ended up throwing Styles back into the ring. Sikoa then ended up running to the ropes and delivered a headbutt to Styles. He ended up going for the cover, and Styles ended up kicking out. So later on, we had Styles end up jumping off the top rope. He went for the phenomenal forearm, but Sikoa ended up catching Styles. Sikoa ended up going for the Samoan Spike, but Styles ended up rolling Sikoa up, and Sikoa ended up kicking out. Styles ended up going for the Styles Clash, but Sikoa ended up lifting Styles up, and Styles ended up landing on the ring apron. Styles delivered a forearm, and then Styles delivered the phenomenal forearm off the top rope, and Sikoa ended up rolling to the outside. And that led to Roman Reigns running down. Roman ended up attacking Styles, and the ref ended up calling for the bell. So the match ended in disqualification. Styles won the match by DQ. Roman ended up lifting Styles up. Styles ended up landing on his feet, and Styles ended up hitting Roman with a kick to the side of his head. Sikoa got into the ring. He ended up hitting Styles with some right hands. And then Randy Orton ended up coming out. And you all know where this is going to head. Randy Orton comes out, then you'll have Jimmy Uso come out, and then you'll have LA Knight come out, which happened. So Randy ended up running down to the ring. Orton delivered a kick onto Sikoa, and he delivered some right hands onto Roman. Out came Jimmy Uso. He ended up hitting Randy from behind with some right hands. LA Knight ended up coming out, and Knight delivered a clothesline onto Jimmy, and he delivered some right hands to both Sikoa and Roman. Knight ended up throwing Jimmy toward Orton. Orton ended up throwing Jimmy to the outside. Roman rolled to the outside. So Orton, Styles, and Knight stood in the middle of the ring. Styles was arguing with both Orton and Knight. Styles delivered a right hand onto Knight, and he delivered a chop to Orton. Knight ended up hitting Styles with a clothesline. Orton grabbed Knight, and Knight delivered some right hands to Orton. So Sikoa and Jimmy were about to enter the ring. Roman then ended up telling them, no, stop. Styles delivered some right hands onto Knight, but Knight ended up slamming Styles into the top turnbuckle. Randy Orton delivered some right hands onto Knight, and that was how SmackDown went off the air. Overall, decent match between Styles and Sikoa, but it's heel versus heel here. Obviously, the disqualification made sense here. Overall, SmackDown, okay show tonight. We had some good wrestling on the show tonight. But anyways, that's it for the SmackDown review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and as I will see you all Monday with my Christmas morning vlog, that I do every single year, tradition. So until then, I'll see you all later.